Hey, good morning, good day, guys, depending on where you're from. So I made a little road trip yesterday, and I always kind of clear my head, do a lot of thinking. 200 miles one way, 200 miles back in the same day, just some business slash pleasure trip. And I had been thinking, and I have put my ATM business up for sale, which is small, guys. This is not some huge conglomerate. This is 9 pieces of equipment across about a 60-mile stretch, maybe 65 miles. Pretty easy to service. And the reason I'm making this video is I want to let people know that buying or selling any kind of a service-related business, we're all in the vending business, we're all in the amusement game business, probably that are on my channel. A lot of us are in the ATM business. I'm going to split some of my time. That's why I want to get out of the daily route operations. I am going to remain a distributor of Venco. Very happy to put people in the in the ATM business. About one person a week, something like that. I sort of quit advertising there too. I always thought the ATM business, owners, operators, was sort of the professional grade of people. And I have found that it's not really. And I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers, and I am looking for some comments. I have had people come across my desk with the most unusual requests. They've submitted the most, I can't think of any other word except ridiculous offers. Buying this sort of a business. Right now, we've had the election, and it's the beginning of the summer of 2025. The economy seems good, but it's not a buyer's market and it's not a seller's market. It's right in between. It's for the hardworking people that will pay 2.5 times net for a business that is viable. It doesn't really matter if you're selling a janitorial business, a vending machine business. This is considered a service business. Now, I have been involved in the sale, whether it has been my vending route, my amusement route, many times. Couple dozen, whether I've brought buyers and sellers together. For other customers' businesses, people tend to come to me and say, gee, I think I want out, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any customers that want? Yeah, of course, we bring buyers and sellers together. So the reason I'm making this video, we get on that number of 2.5%, 2.5%, or 2.5 times is what I'm trying to say, the multiplier. So let's just say your service-related business nets $100,000 to the owner, to the operator. That's what he clears at the end of the year. Well, guess what? That business is worth about $250,000, and that multiplier works with small businesses or mega businesses. There are exceptions. And where I'm going with this is I have a 9-piece ATM route, small. It was a little bit bigger 6, 7, 8 months ago, and ironically we had 5 spots in my local area, and my local area is relatively small. We had 5 spots go out of business. Bars, restaurant, 2 gas stations, they just within 6 weeks they all went out of business, and we picked up 5 machines. So we went from a 14-piece route to a 9-piece route. Now the 9 pieces I have out there, all of them have been out there a minimum of 2 years, and some of them 3 years, and that's when I started. So I'm going to start with the asking price for the 9 pieces of equipment on location. I have come to the conclusion that it was ridiculously low. I'm downloading a video in the background here, so I got to keep active. But anyways, I was asking $37,500 for the 9 pieces on location, and then I have 5 additional pieces. Now keep in mind, I sell equipment. I mean, I can always sell ATMs, I can always sell change machines, whatever I have. So I was asking $37,500 cash for the 9 pieces on location. 10,000 more. I'd include 5 more ATMs, virtually new, very low miles, because we bought them, and the business is about 3 of those didn't last 6 months. So anyways, really nice stuff. This is not road hard and put away wet equipment. So now we're up to $47,500. I have had people come across and tell me, well, you know, we can only spend, you know, $21,000 for this, and, you know, not going to pay you the second half for 6 months, and blah, blah, blah. Making requests, gee, we'd like to see all of the location contracts, and we want to see the addresses. And you know, this is not something you get when you buy a business like this. You put up a deposit. Contracts, things like that, are handed over on the day that you take over the business. People asking all this personal information. So yesterday when I was driving, this is where I started with this, by the way, sorry to ramble on. I sat there, and I always have a legal pad with me I can make notes on when I'm driving, and this is something I learned kind of from my dad. So I had my legal pad out on my console to my car as I was cruising along the highway. And I kind of put some numbers together in my head, and then I came in this morning and I pulled the reports from my Switch Commerce login. And I'm going to start with what I'm given here for the $37,500, less the extra machines. Some people may not want them. They'll just buy them one at a time when they add to this route. So spot A, I've had it 3 years, contracted for 5. It's the best spot. Okay, I'm not going back. I've had people ask me for 3 years records, month to month. What, I mean, come on, people. This is 30 days, the last 30 days. This spot had 543 transactions in 30 days, maybe 31, depending on the month. That equates to a net profit. So forgetting what the swipe fee is, forgetting what the commission is, this is a net profit. Now, I vault my own equipment, so I don't pay an employee. I drive a car that gets 33 miles to the gallon, so you know, I probably spend $100 a month on fuel. So how much expense really is involved? I run this ATM business out of my parts warehouse, so I already pay rent. But anyways, so the net profit on this spot per month is just shy of $1,200 a month. Okay, that comes out at a 2.5 multiplier at $35,850 is what that one location would be worth. Okay, that's based on $11.95 net profit a month times 12 months times 2.5, $35,850. So I'm asking less than what one location is worth by $1,000, and I'm giving you 7 more machines operating on location. Now, this best spot does have 2 machines, by the way. So the second best spot in the last month did, let's see, 110 transactions. Okay, that equates to our side net profit $546. It's kind of a high commission type of location, so our end is $546. Now spot B, we'll call this one, would be worth at a 2.5 multiplier $19,680. One location, 2 machines. They're under a big remodel now, spending a lot of money, $250,000 just on updates. So only 1 machine is operating right now. The second one goes back into action here within the next 30 days. So anyways, so 1 machine valued at a 2.5 multiplier, $19,680. So those 2 locations, that's only 4 of the 9 machines, is worth at a 2.5 multiplier. Sometimes you can buy a business for 2 times, sometimes 1 3/4, but not often. The value of those two spots, $55,500. So I'm selling it for almost $20,000 less than that, and I'm giving you 5 more locations, 5 more machines, and these other 5, they're all average. Some are below average, but I've had them a long time. I look at the meters, I say, yeah, it might be 3 years, might be kind of a slow spot. But I load heavy and I don't go back off, and some of these I can wait 3 or 4 weeks, if I put, 10, 12,000 in them. And, but like I said, they're average, they're less than average, but they're still viable. So what I'm getting at is you can't buy a business that has any kind of structure to it, contracted, for these ridiculous amounts of money. These people keep coming to me and say, well, yeah, I did the math and I'm not going to make, $55,000 because I have to pay a vaulter. That's your fault. If you want to be an absentee owner and basically do nothing, you're going to make less money. Okay, you're not going to get your money back on any kind of business in 30 months by doing nothing. So I try to explain to these people, the fact that you're hiring a vaulter and you live in Minnesota and I'm in California, Arizona, Nevada, that's on you. So I know this is going to get some rants and raves. A lot of people have got a lot of their own equations, and I'd like to hear from you. And let's not get stupid. Let's not use bad words and bad language, but put in the comments your thoughts. Okay, let's be professionals. And to all the people that requested all this information from me, and I replied, I gave them some stuff. No, I never gave anybody all the location addresses and the owners, of these businesses and where they live and their cell phone numbers and all this stuff. I mean, what are you people thinking? And then basically, I guess the term would be, didn't hear from them, ghosted me. These people, for the most part, a lot of them are on a fishing expedition. They're trying to work on other people's money. I've had some crazy propositions, but they all involve my money. So these are people probably without any kind of a bankroll. But I'd like to hear from the serious people. Like I said, it's going to ruffle some feathers. I was hoping the people in the ATM business were a little more professional. I know some of the big players, and they are professionals. These are people that don't need my route because they're not in my area. So, guys, I got that off my chest, and I appreciate you watching. If you want to have a notification for future uploads, just click that subscribe button, and we appreciate your viewership. So for now, Doug at Doug's World Tour, regarding the ATM industry, and I'm out.